The Viking Age spanned from 790 to 1066. Without their own historians, much of the reality of Vikings has been left to myth or conjecture. So here are 5 misconceptions about the Vikings most books won't teach. Number 1. The Vikings wore horned helmets and went into battle shirtless. There is no evidence that this is true. Archaeological studies suggest that they favored chainmail, and their helmets were standard for the time period. Number 2. They were gigantic. Archaeological excavations suggest they were only slightly taller than their English and French counterparts. The average Viking was around 5 feet 7 inches. Some of this is due to genetics, as well as higher reliance on game and wild animals for food by the Vikings in contrast to their agrarian counterparts. Number 3. Vikings were smelly and dirty barbarians. Grave excavation tells a different story. Many of the Vikings were buried with money and other prized possessions, such as perfumes, hair dyes, and grooming utensils. Number 4. The Vikings ruthlessly murdered and raped in their raids. Historian Gwyn Jones compared them to innocent casualty figures of Charlemagne, a Christian emperor, and they are similar. Number 5. The Vikings were religious fanatics about Norse mythology. The myths and stories passed down come from the Volsung saga written by Snorri Sturluson, an Icelandic poet. In fact, King Canute the Great, who conquered England in 1016, was a Christian. In fact, many of the ideas surrounding the end times Ragnarok bear a striking resemblance to the Bible's book of the Apocalypse. It seems Christianity made more sense to the Vikings than the tall tales of Odin.